Let's go racing.
It's quiet now, but you can almost hear the thunder. The morning sun welcomes the arrival of race teams and gives rise to the roar of engines. Nascar is driven by people and fueled by passion. More than any racetrack or any car, man is the machine that drives this sport. Every race is a pilgrimage. Fans come from everywhere, and their loyalty is unparalleled. Millions of men, women, and children follow Nascar, the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing. A sport that came of age on smooth speedways across America was born decades ago on the rough mountain roads of Appalachia. It's known as moonshine, whiskey made in a homemade still. It's illegal, but in the American South of the Depression era, bootleggers ran moonshine just to feed their families. The only thing that could stop a bootlegger was the law, but the law had to catch them first. Sometimes the only thing between a moonshine delivery and a jail cell was a lead foot and a rebuilt engine. So local mechanics went to work, making cars go faster than the speed of law. Before long, bootleggers bragging about who had the fastest car headed for a place where they could race. The races came to Daytona Beach. Fans flocked, and beach lovers gave way to speed lovers. The course ran down the sands and back up the highway that ran beside. Races were wild and wildly popular. The Daytona Beach races boosted the popularity of stock car races running on dirt tracks and state fairgrounds across America. They were disorganized and dangerous. If something wasn't done soon, stock car racing would go from the fairgrounds to just another sideshow. So in 1947, at the Streamline Hotel, a man named Bill France presided over a meeting of fellow race promoters, drivers, mechanics, and officials. NASCAR was born. In its first decade, the new organization was small, just trying to keep the wheels on the road. But NASCAR attracted the best drivers, mechanics, and owners. More fans and sponsors soon followed. As the stakes got higher, racing technology advanced rapidly into the 21st century. Now, state-of-the-art cars race at speeds once thought impossible on the modern racetracks of NASCAR.
world's best drivers, more than 30,000 horsepower, about to be unleashed in the Great American Race, the Daytona 500. Get set for 3.5 hours of raw racing excitement.
Every race is a competition between the greatest teams and drivers in the world, and gives race fans an experience they will never forget. Every battle between competitors has the potential to add another moment to NASCAR's brilliant legacy. In the 60s and 70s, the level of talent grew, and the greatest drivers created the rivalries which defined the sport.
That was the fun part of racing, beating somebody and bragging about it.
David was my most competitive person.
I felt like if I could outrun Richard, I'd win the race.
When he showed up, he was the man to beat.
The sport started in the South, but soon expanded coast to coast. Tiny tracks were replaced by grand speedways. Now NASCAR runs races on more than 100 tracks across America, where there are many racing series. NASCAR sanctions international, regional, and local racing series, as well as the Camping World Truck and Nationwide series. Every level produces its own stars. Some of racing's biggest names started in NASCAR long before they ever drove at the premier level. The better drivers and rivalries pushed competition to the limit, and sometimes passed it. The crashes got more dramatic, but NASCAR implemented new technology to minimize their impact. In 2007, NASCAR completely redesigned the stock car. A larger cockpit, reinforced fuel cells, and state-of-the-art materials keep drivers safer than ever before. One thing that has evolved most is the pit stop. Today's crews can give a car tires and fuel in 12 choreographed seconds.
That's all. I need 4 tires here. 5, 6, 6 guys. Be 4, we're ready. Get 5 pounds, 4 tires.
They'll rip a tear off that windshield. One side tires are on, 4 tires. The 4 stops. Looks like it's going to be Jimmy Johnson.
Successful pit strategy, skill behind the wheel, and a little luck are all necessary to take the checkered flag.
Greg Biffle, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jamie McMurray, Kevin Harvick, still got a shot to win this thing.
Green flag. 56 has got a hard ball right behind him. He tried to put the block on it, but Harvick was there. Look at McMurray, and that one jumped to the bottom.
He shoved the heck out of him, too. I knew.
Murray's coming with a full head of steam. Jamie McMurray to lead.
Inside, 31.
This will be all the time. He's going to try to win the 500.
Biffle's got the bottom of the racetrack. He dives low underneath Jamie McMurray. He's got drafting help from Clint Boyer and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Banging fenders.
Side by side to the lead and the win of the Daytona 500. Jamie McMurray in the outside line. He'll reach out front and grab the lead. Earnhardt Jr. McMurray off turn 4 for the final time. Checker coming in the air. The 42nd Daytona 500 to Jamie McMurray.
Growing up dreams of winning the Great American Race. Because reality tonight matched that dream.
I told my wife today, I was like, she's like, if you win tonight, oh, I'm gonna cry. It's just, it's unbelievable, really. I can't explain it. Oh.
each dream is fulfilled. The dreamer joins a list of NASCAR winners that reaches back to 1948. Racing is about competition, the desire to outrace all others. It's as true now as it was the first time the rubber met the road.
Some of the great champions going out, changing that strange lead lap.
You sound like contact.
Yes, it did.
This is what it's all about. He's got one shot left. Hang on. This is where there may be some contact right here. Here they come to the line. It's going to come all the way to the wire. A jubilant crew heralds the victory. Nice job. They go burn it down. 250 laps, 500 left turns. One back. Casey Kane wins. Heartbeat for Michael Walter, just unbelievable. Down there, hugging his brother. Jimmy Johnson will lay claim. Jimmy Johnson, winner of the World 600. Rick Biffle wins. It is Alan Kowicki winning. Jim Fox Mercury wins.
At the NASCAR Hall of Fame, we celebrate NASCAR and those who achieve their dreams of glory.
Thank you for joining us. Please exit through the doors at the rear of the theater.